Everyone. My name is Vuso from Seniors Tech Services, and I'm so sorry that our presentation didn't work out last Saturday, but today I am going to present to you a video which is going to cover all the information that we wanted to go over in the presentation on getting to know your iPad. So this video is actually great because you get to watch the video at your own time, and you can rewind it and be able to go over the material at your own pace. So we're going to be talking about the iPad, which is really one of the most popular devices for seniors in Canada and in many other countries as well. Many people now just use the iPad. They don't have a computer, a desktop, or a laptop, but they just use the iPad and their smartphone. So these are the list of items that we're going to be looking at in this video. We're going to look at gestures, which is basically how to move around the iPad. Usually you just use your finger to scroll down, up and down, and I'll show you something called the control center, which is really good as well. And it's a place where you will find useful shortcuts. The control center, for instance, for you to be able to connect your iPad to your TV, or even to connect it to Bluetooth. Our gestures as well will look at how we can organize our apps, how we can make sure that our home page is well organized so that we can find the apps that we need very, very quickly and easily. We'll be able to look at how we can move those apps, how we can delete them, and we also need to close apps that may be running in the background. And I will show you how you can do that and how that can help you to save your battery. We'll look at the App Store. So our iPads have many apps that are available for us to be able to download and use those apps, but we rarely do so. We just use the basic apps that come with the device itself. And I'm going to show you how you can go into the App Store and be able to download other apps for different things that you may not even think of, like apps for cooking, apps for gardening, apps for hiking. There are so many things on your iPad, and sometimes you hear people saying it's like a computer. That's exactly what it is. We'll look at some tricks that you can use when you are typing. We all probably have used our devices to type in one way or another when we go on the internet, or even write an email. But I'll show you some other tricks that you can use to be able to type quickly and efficiently. Sometimes you may receive a document that is sent to you by email, and you want to download it and save it to your iPad. So we'll look at files where you can find all the documents that you have downloaded to your iPad. And also you might even receive pictures by email, and you want to save those pictures to your device so that you don't have to go back to the email all the time to look at those pictures. And we'll see how we can do that as well. When someone is speaking or you're having a meeting, you are also able to record those proceedings on your iPad using an app called Voice Memos. So we'll have a look at that as well. And then we will look at Safari. Often when we go to Safari, you find that you want to save a page. You don't want to have to go to Google every time and type in the name and then save it. So I will show you how you can do that and save it on your iPad so that you can find it quite easily. And then we'll look at emails, because all of us at some point or another are going to receive a lot of unwanted emails. And there are many ways that we can deal with these emails. One option is just to delete them. And sometimes you find that there's a link as well for you to unsubscribe and hope that they won't keep sending you emails. So we are going to look at a way in which we can block the emails permanently and also search for emails that have been sent to us by the same person or organization and delete them that we have received previously. We're going to look at a special button called the share button. And the share button allows us to send pictures and videos to others. It also allows us to share with others documents or even send a web page. If you find you're reading a really nice story and you want to send it to your friend, how do you do that? And then there's a special feature on all our iPads that allows us to find it if you lose it, or you might go to the mall and then it's lost, or you don't know where it is. You can actually locate your iPad using a feature called Find My, and we're going to look at that. Lastly, we'll also go into our settings as well. We'll look at, Wi-Fi, how you can connect to Wi-Fi, and I'll give you some tips as well to use Wi-Fi safely, especially public Wi-Fi. We'll look at accessibility. If you want to increase the size of the letters, sometimes people will tell me that this iPad, I can't really see them. The letters are so small. How do I increase the size? Or if you need to, how you can also connect your iPad to hearing aids and make it louder. So we'll look at some great features that allow us to be able to enjoy our iPad. Sometimes people will say, hey, this iPad, it locks up. After a few minutes I'm using it, it goes black. So how can I increase the time? So I'm going to show you that as well, and also how you can update your iPad. It's very important to keep our iPad up to date, and also the apps that are running on that device. And lastly, we need to look at iCloud, because sometimes you may get a message that you have run out of space on your iPad. And I'll tell you and I'll show you a few areas that you can change to make sure that you have enough space all the time, and the options that you have. So this is what the apps look like on our iPad that we're going to be looking at today. You have the App Store at the top left, our mail for email, our files icon, that's what it looks like. If you don't see that files icon on your iPad, you can go to the App Store and be able to download it from there. It's from Apple and it's on most iPads, but some iPads you will go there and then you can't find it. So you need to download it. We'll look at notes. We'll look at notes simply just to practice some of the typing shortcuts that I'm talking about. And there is our settings, which is the gear icon. It looks like a little wrench of gear. That's your settings. And of course, Safari at the top right, where we can go on the internet. The green one in the second row on the left is Find My. That is the one that we will look at to be able to locate our device if something happens and we don't know where it is. So those are the main apps that we're going to be looking at today. That little section at the bottom that you see there is called the dock. The technical name for it is the dock. And what happens is all the apps that you are using will appear there. And if they see that you are using Safari a lot, it will appear down at the bottom, or even the camera itself. And so that is called the dock, and we'll look at how you can customize that as well. So sometimes people, when I do this presentation, they'll say, what is an app? What does it mean? Well, an app stands for application, and it is basically a type of software that allows you to perform a specific task. For instance, if you are using email, or you are using camera, or you are using calendar or maps, that is what is called an app. It has a little button that you press. These are just apps is really just a small program. In the past, they would call them programs. Now they have a fancy name, they call them apps. So anything that you tap to be able to use your iPad is called an app. There are free and paid apps in the App Store, and you don't have to worry about accidentally downloading an app and then you get charged, because they will always show you the price. And during our demonstration later on, we're going to see how we can download apps from the App Store and also make sure that they're always up to date. There are a lot of apps in the App Store. There are over 1.96 million apps to choose from. So you can find an app for almost anything. Like I said, you will find them in the App Store, and you may have seen these signs before where it says download on the App Store. And we will visit the App Store and we'll try it out and see how it works. Here are some common symbols that you will see on your iPad every time when you are using it. You've got the share button, which is at the top left, and I'll come back to that one. You've got the trash if you want to delete something. Every time when you see 3 dots, those show you that there is a setting behind it, that there is something that you can change behind it. And then you'll find that as well, there is a gear icon that can be used as settings. And this is particularly useful on our devices, whether you are using an Apple device or any. It's a universal symbol for settings. If you are on social media or have used any app where you are able to express your appreciation for something, you'll be familiar with the like symbol, which is usually a heart and has become like a universal symbol now. And then you have the magnifying glass, which allows you to be to perform a search, whether it's on the internet or within the iPad itself or your iPhone. And then if you see 3 bars, it means that there is a menu behind it. Some people call it the hamburger icon or the drawer icon. Those are menu options that allow you to choose how you want to proceed. So that's what those 3 bars are. And if you see an arrow pointing down, it means download. So you are able to download a program or a document or anything like that. It's useful to know these because nowadays you can just buy a device, whether it's an iPad or anything, and then they give you this device and you are expected to magically know how to use it and how to navigate it. So it's always good to know what these symbols mean and be able to know them and be able to recognize them when you see them. The share button, like I mentioned, is one that we're going to refer to a lot in our presentation. And when you press the share button, it allows you to send things to your friends and family or to other people. It allows you to share what you are looking at or what you are typing with others. It may be a picture, it may be a document, or it may be a video, anything on your device, or even a story that you are looking at on your iPad. If you want to share it with someone so that they can read it as well, you are going to press the share button. So, and even if you are looking at documents, it allows you to print those documents or save them to files. So you'll see me talking about the share button a lot during the demonstration. Here's a quick overview of our iPad. If most of you have an iPad already, you will know all these features, where the power button is, the volume up button and the volume down button, the camera, and of course, we have our little icons or buttons that you can tap and they will allow you to perform a specific task. At the bottom, of course, is the dock that I talked about again. And over there, we find all the apps that we are using the most. And then at the back of the device, we'll find that we have our camera. This is what the iPad looks like. When you look at the back, you've got the microphone jack right at the bottom. You've got your camera over there. And the really modern iPads can have up to 5 microphones located around it. So you don't have to speak at a specific place when you are using your iPad, because it can have up to 5 microphones. At the bottom, you have your speakers and also where you can charge the iPad. And if you have used your iPad a lot, you probably used this before. So from now on, we're going to have a demonstration and actually try it out and look at all these features. Now, if you find that you have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to send me an email at info@seniorstechservices.ca. So that's my email address. It's info@seniorstechservices.ca. And you can send me an email and I will be very happy to answer your questions for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move to my iPad and we'll be able to have a look at all these features and try them out and see how they work on our iPad. This is what our iPad looks like. We've got all our apps right at the top, we looked at on the slides before. And at the top left, you've got our App Store. And that's the app that we're going to be looking at first. And our App Store allows us to download apps and be able to use those apps on our device. And what I'll do is I'm just going to open the App Store. And when you open it, you'll find that at the bottom, in the middle, there is a section that says Apps. And when you tap on Apps, it gives you a list of all the apps that you can access on your iPad. You can scroll down and look for a specific app and be able to just download it directly to your iPad, or you can use the search button to search for a specific app. And if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you will see that there is a search button. And when you tap that, it allows you to be able to search for an app. And usually, when we know the exact app that we want, we'll just search for that exact app. You go to the top where it says Games, to the top left where it says Games, Apps, Stories, and More. And when you tap there, you get your keyboard and you are able to search for a specific app. Let's say you wanted to find the Facebook app and download it. And then once you type it in, you are able to access all the social media and Facebook apps. But another option is you can try and search for apps by subject. For instance, let's say you like baking, okay? So let's try baking apps. So normally, if you wanted to find a recipe, a baking recipe, you might go to Google or you might go to YouTube, but you can also come right here and then type baking. And then you can find so many different apps that you can use. If you like gardening, for instance, you might be looking for gardening tips on the internet or gardening tips on YouTube. You can come to your App Store as well, and you get different choices. As you can see, the first one says Gardening by the Moon and Gardening Plants and Vegetables. I'm going to tap on Gardening Plants and Vegetables. And when I scroll down here, you can see that I get different apps that allow me to be able to find information on gardening. Now, you may wonder, which app should I choose? There are so many of them. How do I know which one is good and which one should I choose? Well, there are certain things that you can look for. For instance, let's look at this one here, Gardening, Plants and Vegetables. So what you want to look at when you look at these apps, first of all, is does it have any ratings or reviews? And when we look at this one, we don't see any ratings or reviews. It's just like most things on the internet, they're rated out of 5. And so the general guideline is you want to download an app if it has a rating of 4.5 and above. And if you look at this one here, Smart Plant and Tree Care, it has a rating of 4.5. And also, when we scroll down, we can see different reviews that have been put by people there. You want to try and see how many people have used it as well. Usually you'll get a specific number that shows you how many people. And then you want to check if there's a price. So you'll see that at the top left, there's a little button there that says Get, and that is the one that you press to download it. Now, if there was a fee for it, in most cases, it will ask you to either use your fingerprint or know your Apple ID password. So you may be requested to enter your Apple ID password. So make sure that you know it, and then before you can download the app. If there was a price for the app, it will automatically show up and tell us how much it is. Sorry, there's another great app which I found for back pain, for instance. If you want, there are many health apps on the App Store, and one good one is back pain. So let's say, well, let's be more specific, back pain for seniors, because we don't want to find all the apps from the world that are, for back pain. And here you see there's one here that says low back exercises for seniors. And look at that, it has a rating of 5.0. And this app actually has a lot of great videos that you can use, but it's not the only one. There are many other apps that you can find that have great information that you can use as well. And I've already downloaded it, for instance, and when you look at that app, you find that it has lots of great videos that you can see. It has little videos that allow you to be able to practice and see different exercises that you can do. So the App Store is really a great place for you to be able to find apps that are useful and also download them and use them. And try not to just download it by the name of the app, but by a specific app that interests you. If you want to make sure, it's always important to make sure that the apps on our device are updated. And what you can do is you can just go to the top right where you have your name there. And when you go there and you put your finger and then just pull down the page, it will tell you apps that need to be updated. And then when you press update all, you are able to update the apps. So that is basically the App Store and how it works. It's a great place for you to find really great apps. So I would encourage you to try it out. Now we'll move on to mail. So mail, we get a lot of emails, and we might find that at times we may get a lot of spam as well. And I'm going to open my email here, and I'm going to show you how you can block emails. So you may find that, there are many emails coming in and you're not sure who these people are, or if you signed up for it in the first place, or maybe, you signed up and then you forgot about it. But these emails just keep coming in and you want to block them because you don't want to keep receiving these emails. And one easy way that you can do that is, first of all, by opening the email. So the first thing is to tap on the email and you're like, okay, I didn't sign up for this, but they have my email address. And then you just go to the name of the person or the organization who sent it to you. You just tap on it and you're going to tap on it again. So where it says from the person that sent you the email, you just tap on it and the menu comes up. And in this menu, you can see that there is an option to block this contact. And that is the option that you're going to tap on. And when you block this contact, they won't be able to send you emails again. You might also say, well, in addition, I would really like to just delete all the emails that they have ever sent me. And you'll see that in the middle here, we also have an option that says search mail for contact, search mail for contact. And that's the one that you're going to tap on. And when you tap on that, it will show you all the emails that have come from that person since they started sending you emails. It might be a year, it might be more than that, but you will get all the emails that they have ever sent you. And the way you delete them, you can do it one by one, or you put two fingers. Just put two fingers at the top and scroll down. And you are able to highlight all the emails all at once. And then you just press the trash can at the bottom, and all those emails from that person will be gone. You won't get any more emails from them. Now, whilst we're here in the email, let us look at two more things that you can do in the email. You'll notice that the first two emails are emails that have received one with documents and one with trips. And here we're looking at a situation where somebody may send you a document. Maybe your accountant sends you your tax documents, or your friends go on a trip and then they send you pictures. But you are wondering, how can I save these pictures on my iPad? I don't want to have to go back to my email when I want to see the pictures or when I want to see the document. So how am I going to put them on my iPad? And the way you do that is you just open the email. So this person sent me my taxes, and the document is right at the bottom of the page. And so what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the document to open it. And once the document is open, you will use the share feature to save it on your iPad. The share button, if you look at the top right, you'll see that it's right there. It's got the little box and the arrow pointing up. And when we tap on it, it allows us to be able to save the document to our iPad. You see, there's an option on the right here on the menu that came up that says save to files, save to files. And when you tap on that option, it opens up, it opens up, and you are able to save that document to your iPad. So on the left, we find that we have options here to save it in our iCloud Drive or save it on my iPad. And I prefer to just save it in iCloud Drive because then I can find it from my iPhone and I can find it from any other device. And then at the top right, you just press save, and that document is saved to your iPad. So next time when you want to find it, you are able to find it very, very easily in files. Now, the same thing, but a different option is if they are pictures. So if somebody sends you pictures, what are you going to do? So the way you're going to save them is, let's open this one here, this email. And as you can see here, there are some lovely pictures which this person took when he went on his trip to, this looks like Banff, right? Yeah, so in Alberta. So how do I put these pictures on my iPad so that I can see them later on? I don't want to keep going back to the email. And the way you do that is you just tap on the picture. You just tap on the picture and make it bigger. I don't know what this guy was doing on the board, but anyway, we just tap on the picture, it becomes bigger. And look again, at the top right, you see that share button comes up again. We press the share button and we get an option here that says save image, save image. And when we tap on save image, that allows us to be able to save it to our photos. And when we go back to our photos, if we go to our photos, we should find that picture is now saved in our photos. There it is. So it's now saved in our photos. So that's how you are going to be able to save the pictures and be able to access them, not by going back to your email, but just going back to your photos. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so you told us how to save to photos from email, and you also told us how to save a document to my iPad. But how do I find it now? So when you save the document to my iPad, where is it? Where do I find it? And the place where you're going to find that document is Files. So the third one at the top that says Files, the blue one that looks like a folder or a file. When you tap that, that is where everything is going to be saved. And as you can see, the first one says text document. And that is the one that I downloaded and saved to my iPad. And even if you have a document here and if you have a document in my files, you can also send it to other people. You can also share it with other people. And the way you do that is you go to the top right again, and then you press the share button. And when you press the share button, it allows you to choose how you want to send it to someone. And here we're going to choose our email because we want to send it by email. And look at that. The document is attached right within the email itself. And then you just put in the email address of the person you want to send it to. And, you just complete your email as usual. And then you just press the send button and it is gone. So that's how you are going to enter it and be able to send it. So the share button, as we have seen, is really important for us to be able to not only send documents or even to share or print. The next one that we're going to look at is notes. So if you notice in the middle of the screen at the top there, now you've got notes. And notes is a really good app for us to look at a few ways in which we can type things and be able to also do it efficiently and quickly. So I'm going to type on the keyboard just the usual way that you have done it when you are typing your email, when you are typing anything. I enjoy the snow. So there we go. I typed something there, but our iPad also allows us, whether it's an iPad or even your iPhone or even your Mac, it also allows you to be able to type by speaking to the device. And if you look at the space bar at the bottom, you will see that there is a little icon there. It's a little grayed out on my iPad, but there's a little icon that has a microphone on it. And when you tap that microphone, you can actually speak to your device and it will type. And you can do this when you are doing emails. You can do this when you are doing just notes or anything where you need to type. So you are able to tap on the microphone. Look out for the microphone. And then you just tap on it and it will start typing for you. In addition, Notes has a really great feature where you can actually use your finger as well. So if you look at the top right, you've got a little button there that is called the Mark Up button. And it looks like a little pen, and it has a circle, a pen in a circle. And when you tap on that one, it allows you to use your finger to be able to write on the iPad. And you can just choose a pen at the bottom and how thick you want it to be. And the color, I'm going to choose blue in this case. And then I can start using my finger to write on the screen. It's really cool. And I really like, let's see. Yeah, I really like using it because If I'm in a rush and I need to write someone's phone number or anything, I just go there and I'm able to just use that feature to be able to just type there. And not only type, but just use my finger to write as well. Okay. So we've looked at the App Store, we've looked at mail, we looked at files, we looked at using notes to be able to do things quickly. Let us go on to Safari. And Safari really helps us to be able to go on the internet and look at websites and even, just go to Google and then search. So Safari at the top right, I'm going to open my Safari and I'm able to look at different websites. In this case, I opened Safari, and because I was looking at the Center for Conscious Awareness Canada before, it came up. That is the website that came up. And at the top right, I have two options. You'll see that there's a share button and there's also a plus sign. The plus sign allows me to open a new tab. And this is what usually people will do. They will just go to Google and then they will look for information, right? So in this case, we're going to go to Google and we're going to type center and see if it comes up. Center for Conscious. Let's see if we can get it on Google. You can see that as I'm typing, I'm actually taking a long time, right? To look for it. Center for Conscious Awareness Canada. There it is. Okay. So now I'm going on Google and I'm searching and I see there is Center for Conscious Awareness Canada. What I really need is the website. So you can see that this process is just taking me a long time to be able to get what I need. But once you find the website, you can save it to your device very, very quickly. And then you won't have to search for it all the time. So in this case, I've got my website open and I am going to use the share feature again. So if you go to the top right, you see the share button. So you're going to press that one. That share button is really magic, I tell you. And when you look at the options that come up when you press the share button, you see one that says add to homepage. Add to homepage. That is the option that we're looking at. And when we tap on that one, it allows you, when we press the add, which is right there at the top right, it allows us to save the center right there on our iPad. And we don't have to look for it again next time. If you want, you can tap on it and then you can move it to the home page. So look at that now. We have the website right there. If we want to know all the events that are going on for seniors, I don't have to go to Google anymore because I have saved it on my iPad and I can read all the events and see what is there. So it's really a great a way in which you can save pages, save a page as an icon. And you can do this not only for this website, but even for your banking website or anything else where you may visit regularly. I find that is a really great feature and I use it often. As you can see on my iPad, I have so many pages that are saved that I go to regularly. So that's a really great feature as well. When you're in Safari as well, you might say, you know what, this is a really great organization. I want to send this website to my friend. Or it might be an article that you saw in the news online that you want to share with someone. So how do I do that? Do I have to copy and paste all this content, or how can I do that? And the way you can do that is you go to the top right again, and we are going to press the magic share button again. And what happens is here, you're going to get options to be able to send it to your friend. Here you can see that immediately I have messages that came up, and I also have mail, and I have my Gmail app here. So when you press any of those, let's say you want to send it by email, you just have to press the mail, and that link is going to appear straight away. It's going to be put into your email. So there it is right there. And then all you need to do is just to put the email address of the person you want to send it to. And you put in your message, and then they will be able to read it. So here we can just type, here is a great organization, and then we send it off, and the person will be able to get it. To send the email, of course, every time we're going to press the send icon, which is at the top right. And so when you tap on it, it goes to the person. So that's how you're going to send a website or an article that you are reading to anyone from Safari. Safari is really great. It works with Google, so the information that you are receiving is completely reliable and you can trust it. Let's go into settings. So we talked about how we can, modify the size of the words or even get our device to speak to it. In fact, before we go into settings, sometimes you may be able to get the device to speak to you simply by highlighting the text. So for instance, here, if we are in our Safari and we go to a website and you highlight this whole paragraph, you are able to get your iPad to speak it to you instead of having to read it. So if it is a really a lot of content and you just want to listen to it, you just highlight it, and then above you see there's a little menu that pops up that says speak. And then when
we are dedicated to studying, researching, and experiencing heart-based meditation practices. We are focused on teaching meditation.
So that's how you can use that feature to be able to get it to speak back to you. But in settings, we find that in our settings menu, and if you've used an iPad before, you've probably been here before as well, you'll find that there are many different options that you can use as well to be able to do that. And there is a section in our iPad settings called accessibility. When you go to accessibility, you are able to use voiceover to be able to get your iPad to speak back to you, or you can use spoken content as well, which are really great options for you to do that. If you find that you want to increase the size of the text is too small for you, you can press display and text size. And you will see that here you can change it to bold, you can change it to larger text. There are so many options there for you to be able to do that. If you use hearing devices or hearing aids, you can also connect your hearing aid to your iPad so that you can hear it easier by just going to hearing devices. So you're able to connect it there. So you're able to customize your device to be able to see things exactly the way you want them. Sometimes people will call me and they will say, you know what? My iPad always says that I have run out of space. I don't have any more space. And what can I do? And one thing that you can do, well, there are different options, but the first one that we'll look at is at the top left, you just press on your name underneath to go to your Apple ID, iCloud, Media and Purchases section. And over here, you are going to look on the right at iCloud. So iCloud determines how much you can put on the device, how many pictures and videos that you can put on your device depending on their sizes. And when you press iCloud, it will tell you exactly how much space you have and what is taking up space on your iPad. In this case, you can see that our documents and photos are taking up the most space on my iPad. And also I have backups and messages as well. And you are able to either there are two options. You can go back and delete some photos and delete some videos if you want, or you can also upgrade your iPad or your iCloud space and pay a monthly fee. That monthly fee, it's $1.29 for 50 gigabytes. As you can see, I'm already using 2 TB, but I find that once people upgrade to that first plan, depending on how many pictures you take and videos and documents you are going to put on it, it helps to free up space for them. And so when you go to iCloud, you can change your plan because your device might come with 5 gigabytes and that can run out very quickly. You can also see what is taking up the space in iCloud and be able to decide whether you want to keep that particular program or you want to delete it. So iCloud is a good place for you to start and be able to search. Something else that people will say is, well, you know what? I have an iPhone, but the pictures on my iPhone and my iPad don't look the same. You have to make sure that when you come here, that your photos over here, that it is on and it is synced with the iPad. So just look at the section where it says photos and make sure that it's on. So that's an important place for you to look. Generally, if you don't have, let's say you don't have many pictures, you don't have many videos, but still your iPad is telling you that it doesn't have space, you can go to the left side over here and tap on General. And when you go to General, it will tell you how much space is being used by the apps on your iPad. As you can see on the right, we've got an option here that says iPad storage. iPad storage, that will show you how much space is being used by your apps. And then if you find that the maximum is always 64 gigabytes. But if you find that you are running out of space and you don't have many pictures and you don't have many videos, you want to try and see which apps on your device are taking up a lot of space, and then you can delete them. And you can see here on my list is telling me that photos is taking up 8.91 gigabytes and iMovie is 578. So I've got some specific apps that I will see and be able to delete very easily there. So that's a little bit of settings for you that we can look at. Well, there is one more. Sometimes people will say to me, okay, my iPad is shutting down really quickly. What's going on? Every time when I'm using it, it just goes black. How can I change that? And you can go on the left side and you can press, just go to display and brightness, and then you just tap on auto lock. That auto lock gives you options, whether to keep, your device to close down after 2 minutes or to lock up after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or never, if you want it never to lock up. So you can choose which option you like there. I like to keep mine at 15 minutes. So that's where I keep it there. So that's a little bit, a little look at settings. And let us look at Find My. So you'll find that on the left side, on the left column, you've got one which says Find My. And Find My is an app that allows us to be able to find our iPad if we lose it. Whether it's an iPad or an iPhone, or if you have a Mac. So what happens is, once you have set up your Apple ID on the device, you are able to locate where it is. And you can see from this map here that where your iPad is located. And then when you just tap on it, you are able to access it. Now, when you see it, it will give you an exact map, an exact map that will show you where your iPad is. And you just have to look down here and you can mark it as lost. You can also erase it if you feel that, you know what, I don't want to go back there anymore. You might have left it in another country, right? You can also erase it to protect yourself. But it's really great. And I have left my iPad in the mall, and then I came here and I just looked at my iPhone as well. And then I was able to find it. If you don't have another Apple device, you can go and do this by going to iCloud.com. What you'll need to do is just go to the website, iCloud.com, and then you just log in, iCloud.com, and then you just sign in with your username and password, and then you'll be able to locate it. So you just put in your Apple ID and password, and then you will find your Find My is embedded within that website, and you can locate it. So that's a really great app, and it's good to make sure that you check it on your iPhone or on your iPad, or even if you have a Windows computer, just go to the website iCloud.com, just check to make sure that it's active. Now, we talked about being able to send pictures and being able to send documents to people. But let's say you wanted to send a lot of documents and a lot of pictures to someone. For instance, I went for a trip to Alberta. So I want to send all these pictures to my family. How am I going to do that? Let's say you go to a wedding, right? You take hundreds of pictures and you are sitting with 10 people at the table. You want to share those pictures with them. So how are you going to do it? And the way you do it is you can either send an email and send 5 pictures or 10 pictures at a time at the most. But there is a way in which you can send all these pictures at once. And the way you do that is you can go to the pictures, and then you either select an album or select the pictures. So you'll notice at the top right, there's an option that says select. And when I tap on that one, I can select as many pictures as I want. With my finger, I just tap on it. Or even if I wanted to send the whole album, I could have chosen select all. But now, when I try to send them by email, my email will say, hey, those are too many pictures, right? And what we're going to do is press the share button at the bottom left, just like we did when we sent the documents or anything. We'll press the share button, and we will go down to the menu at the bottom here and use the one that says copy iCloud link. So when you tap on copy iCloud link, when you tap on that one, it will generate a link that you can send to your friends by email. And then when they get that, they will be able to share it, to just click on the link and be able to see your pictures. So once that link is generated, you are able to send it, and anyone who gets that link can just click on it, and then they will be able to see the pictures. So it's called iCloud. Let me just show it to you again, just in case you missed it. So you scroll down, and it's called copy iCloud link, copy iCloud link. And it generates a link that you can put in your email and send it to people, and then they can actually download all the pictures just like that. So these are really great features that you can use on your iPad. Lastly, let us look at Control Center. We know that on our iPad, we can scroll down, and then we can see notifications. So in this case, we've got emails that are coming in. We've got different notifications. We can scroll over from our left to the right, and we will see this section here, which has different widgets, which you can edit by just pressing edit at the bottom. And when you tap on edit, you can also delete those, the widgets that you don't need. And of course, you've probably done this so many times. You can go from right to left just to move through your iPad and move through the icons themselves. But you are able to make adjustments by going to the top right to see what is called Control Center. So when you scroll down from the bottom right of your iPad, a menu comes up that gives you shortcuts to be able to perform tasks that are commonly used on your iPad. For instance, if you see the volume one, the brightness is the one which I'm moving up and down right now. And then we have the volume, which is right next to it. And then right next to the one for brightness, which I'm moving now, you see that there are two rectangles there. Those rectangles allow you to be able to show what is on your iPad on your TV. It's called screen mirroring. And by tapping on screen mirroring, you are able to show what is on your iPad on your TV. Underneath screen mirroring, underneath those words, your TV will show up like Samsung or any other service that you might have, a Sony TV. And then when you tap on it, what you are looking at on your iPad will show up on your TV. You also have the ability, the little plane at the top left is what is called airplane mode. So if you are in an airplane and they say switch off your devices, you can just tap that and it will stop your device or your iPad from communicating with the network. So this is simply called Control Center. It's at the top right and it's very easy to use. Now, the last thing that we're looking at, you will notice that on my iPad, I have a lot of icons. I have so many of them. So how are you going to find something if you need it? And one easy way is to put your finger in the middle of the screen, and then you scroll down and you get this section that says search. And then once you get to search, you can type the name of the app that you want. And then it will bring it up straight away. It will open the app that you want. That is an easy way to do it. Another recommendation is to reorganize the apps on your iPad and put only the apps that you use most frequently on the home page, which is what you see when you open the iPad. And you can do that by dragging those those apps to the home page. For instance, let's say I'm here and I want to see clock. So I'm going to put my finger on clock and then just drag it to the home page. You can drag only those which you use most frequently to the home page in order to be able to access them most frequently. In the bottom, you'll see that we have our dock, and our dock is something that we can customize as well. You can easily drag the clock in there and it will never disappear. As long as it's on the left side of the line in the dock, it will not move out of the dock. If there are some apps that you don't use regularly, like Find My, you can take them out of the dock very easily. And even you can drag the Find My, because you don't use it every day, and just put it somewhere else on your iPad. So that's how you can customize your iPad. You want to keep it organized so that you can find all the apps that you need very, very quickly. The apps that are available in your iPad, as you download more and more, you are going to find that you end up with so many of them. I have maybe 100 apps on my iPad. So sometimes it can become a nightmare if you don't really organize them properly. If you try out an app and you don't like it, you can always remove the app and you just put your finger down on the actual icon as well. You see that they start dancing. And then when you press the minus at the top left of the app, you get an option either to remove it from the home screen or delete the app completely. So you can delete the app and it will be gone. And then you won't have it anymore. But in future, if you decide that you want to get it back, you want to reinstall it, you can do that as well and be able to put it back on your device simply by going to the App Store and being able to download it from there. And lastly, I also mentioned that voice memos that you can record. You can record, this is voice memos, the one which I'm moving around right now. You can record a session. Let's say you are having your book club meeting, or you are listening to someone talking and you want to record it. You can also use this app called Voice Memos. Search for it in your App Store if you can't find it on your device, because it comes inbuilt on your iPad. It's from Apple. And when you tap on it, you see that it's very easy to use. At the bottom left, there's a little red button. And all you do there is you just tap on it and you are able to record a person who is talking. In my case, I can't record anything because I'm also using my iPad for the presentation. But once you tap on it, you're able to record. So try it out, voice memos. It is always recommended that you have to get the permission of the person before you start recording them, especially if it is if you are having a talk or a conversation with someone, you want to make sure that they know that you are recording them. Okay, so that is some information that I thought would be useful for you. And as you can see, I actually added more information than we would have covered in the presentation itself. But I hope that you find this information useful. And if you have any questions, like I mentioned before, I will be happy to answer those questions for you. You can send me an email to my email address, which is info@seniorstechservices.ca. And I will be happy to answer any questions that you might have in order to help you to be able to enjoy your iPad more, to be able to use it more efficiently, and just go beyond the basic things that we do. The iPad is a great tool, and many people enjoy using it for different things, for email, for doing their banking, for going on the internet and searching for information on Google. But there's a lot more that you can do with it. So try it out and watch this video. If you need to rewind and watch something again, please do so. And if you have any questions, not only on what I have covered today, but anything else that was covered in it, please just send me an email or give me a call if you are in Toronto or Canada, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to the Center for Conscious Awareness for inviting me to present and make this video. Thank you, and that will be the end of the presentation at this time.